everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rin. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Today, let's paint a cozy illustration together. Hopefully you think this is cozy. I love fish and water, so in my mind this is cozy. So this is the first illustration I have done in quite a while. In general, this is the first full page illustration I have done in a very long time, but also the first illustration I have done in quite a while that actually was on watercolor paper. I was so excited to start this painting because I have not painted on actual watercolor paper in so long, and I didn't realize until I started this how much I had missed it and just how enjoyable it is to work with when you can just layer lots and lots of colors and not have to be concerned about your paper getting destroyed. Anyway, so here I have this sketch I had done of a couple fish and then some lily pads and flowers. I have done this exact drawing in markers before, not on my channel, just personally. So I wanted to work on getting better at full page illustrations with watercolor, and because I had already done this piece of art once in a different medium, I felt pretty confident that I probably could make it look at least semi-good in watercolor. So as you saw, I started with that blue and just did a full wash of blue and then added in some kind of like teal, some blue and green I had mixed together, just to add a little bit more color variation. I feel like it dried down a lot less pigmented than I wanted it to, so I wish I hadn't have blended that in quite as much, but I'm still really happy to see like some of those pops of green coming through. Also, is this like the most smooth like wash of watercolor? Definitely not. Even though I used my water brush, you can still see it's a little bit patchy and unblended in some spots, but for this illustration, I was okay with that because it's water. So sometimes the way light reflects off of water, it just looks, I don't know, it felt more realistic. Plus, we're going to end up covering up some of those spots with the magical white Posca pen later that I always use in each one of my pieces. I don't think I've ever actually said these I can't think of what they're called. They are the Ohuhu brand. I think my mom gave me these. I didn't purchase them, so I will try and find a link for them and put it in the description if that's something you're interested in. I love these pens. They're amazing. Hang on one second. Let me look and see what these are. Watercoloring brush pens. That's their name. I will try my best to put a link for them in case you were interested in buying them. I don't know how much they cost, but I only use one out of the set. It comes with different sizes. This one is the one I always use, and it was worth every penny that my mom spent on it because I've used it so many times, and it's just a really nice way to help get your finish a little bit less patchy. I think like the real way to do this piece would have been if I had some of that masking fluid and then like masked off all of the lily pads and the fish and everything, and then go over the entire background to get a really, really clean finish. But I don't own any of that, so I'm just working with what products I have and making that work for me. I wasn't quite sure like the entire overall like finish I wanted this piece to have, if I wanted all of the colors to be really smoothly blended or to be a little bit more of a painterly vibe. I ended up going for more of a painterly vibe just because I personally really love lots of texture in my personal art. I love to look at art that other people create that's very clean and very like polished, but for me personally, I just don't feel like my hand doesn't naturally want to make that, and I also don't feel like that's my own personal artistic expression as well. So usually when I paint, I do go for this more painterly vibe, but I definitely did here. And then I did a lot of color mixing. One of the big things I am always super nervous about with watercolor painting in a full page illustration or just in general is creating shadows. I tend to rely a lot on colored pencil. If you've been watching my videos, you already know this. I always use colored pencil at the end of my art art process to get my shading, but in this case I really wanted to work on creating my shadows with the actual watercolors. So I did some color mixing to try and make some deeper shades of blue for the shadows on the water and under the lily pads, also like some of the fish fins that are underneath the water. And I actually was happy with how this turned out. I don't think it's perfect. I think there's probably an even better way to do that and make it look more vibrant. But for my first time, I'm really happy it turned out as well as it did. I think this is why practice is so important, because now that I've done it once, I feel a lot more confident that maybe I'll be able to do it again. And I know just the more I practice it, the better I'll get. So even when it feels like something's not turning out the way you want it first, keep practicing, because you'll get there eventually. And then, as always, I'm using my Posca pen to create highlights. It is that time of the drawing. Well, these aren't really highlights, but to create the water squiggles. I don't know what to call these, the reflections on the water. I'm not sure quite what these are considered, but the water texture. Using my Posca pen. Oh my gosh, guys, the nib of my Posca pen has fallen out multiple times now when I've taken the cap off the last couple times, and I think I have to buy a new one. I'm really sad, but like I'm hanging on to this one as long as I can because I love my Posca pen so much. What are some things that you guys like to draw? Like, I'm always interested because I kind of draw a bunch of different things on my channel. Do you guys personally enjoy drawing people? Do you enjoy drawing animals? Do you like landscape pieces? And what are some more full illustrations you'd like to see me draw? Would you like to see me draw some full illustrations featuring more people? Maybe some more pieces like this? Like, I'm always interested because there's so many different things to draw, and so I just am curious to know, like, what does everybody else enjoy drawing too? And then I ended up deciding I wanted to line this whole piece in like a pink or purple. So I mostly did pink and then went back over a couple spots with purple and then also a couple spots with blue just to give the line art a little bit more depth. But let me know in the comments, do you think I should go back and line this with actual ink? I almost kind of want to line this with actual ink. I feel like the fish would pop off of the page even more and it would just create even more contrast between the blue and the pink. But I did line it for right now with colored pencil. And then I went in with these beautiful sparkly watercolors. I love these so much. I wanted to add some sparkle just to kind of even create more, like, you know, when you look at water and the sun's shining off of it and it looks like little diamonds. I wanted to try and do some of that with those sparkly watercolors. I love those watercolors so much. And then I wanted to add it into my sketchbook. Here is a sneak peek at maybe some of the drawings we'll be doing on my channel. I don't know. Those were like personal drawings, so I don't know if I'm going to paint them and post them on YouTube or not. But maybe, I'm not sure. I had to cut this down because it was a little bit too big to fit in my sketchbook, but here is how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video is a good encouragement to try things you are afraid of, but in a way, maybe if you also want to do full page illustrations, try painting something that you have done in a different medium, or maybe just something that you feel really comfortable drawing, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I will see you guys in next week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to be kind and stay cozy. Bye!